Hey there. Ready to unlock some serious entrepreneurial wisdom?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Awesome. Today, we're diving deep, deep into Zero to One.
Peter Thiel, yep.
It's a book that really flips the script on how we think about building the future.
Yeah, how we think about progress and innovation
Exactly.
really makes you think differently.
Yeah, we've got notes and highlights, ready to go, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to get your take on some of these big ideas.
Absolutely, let's jump in.
Okay, so right off the bat, like first page, Thiel hits us with this super thought-provoking interview question.
Oh, yeah.
What important truth do very few people agree with you on?
It's a good one. It's a real challenge to
Right.
dig deeper, right?
Yeah,
Find those unconventional insights that most people just kind of dismiss out of hand.
totally. What's your take on that question? Like, how do you even approach that?
It's brilliant, isn't it? It forces you to think beyond the surface level, challenge those widely accepted beliefs that often hold us back.
Totally.
It pushes us to identify those secrets,
Yeah.
right? Those unconventional insights that can lead to truly groundbreaking ideas. Thiel himself, believes that technology matters more than globalization, a perspective that often sparks a lot of debate.
Yeah, that's a bold statement, especially in our hyper-connected world.
Right.
Can you unpack that a bit more? Like, why does Thiel believe that that technology trumps globalization in terms of progress?
So Thiel's argument is that globalization is essentially copying what already works. He calls it horizontal progress.
Okay.
Think about expanding McDonald's into new markets,
Right.
bringing the same burgers and fries to more people.
Yeah.
It's valuable, sure, but it's not truly innovative.
Right. Right.
Technology, on the other hand, that's vertical progress.
Okay.
It's creating something fundamentally new,
Okay.
like the leap from horse-drawn carriages to automobiles.
Got it.
You see the difference.
So while globalization spreads existing ideas and products, technology fundamentally changes what's possible.
Exactly.
It's the difference between making more of the same versus creating something entirely new.
Yeah,
And that's where true progress lies, according to Thiel.
absolutely. Thiel sees technology as the key to a better future because it increases our fundamental capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
allowing us to solve problems in ways we never thought possible.
Right.
It allows us to do more with less, to go from 0 to 1.
Now, Thiel uses the dot-com bubble, which he experienced firsthand with PayPal,
Right.
as a
Okay.
case study.
Mm.
It was a time of massive growth and innovation, but also some pretty irrational exuberance.
Yeah, a lot of hype.
What are some of the key lessons Thiel draws from that era?
Well, the dot-com bubble, as wild as it was, it provides invaluable lessons about the importance of clear thinking amidst hype.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even in the midst of a frenzy, basic business principles still matter.
Right.
Thiel argues that, while the dot-com crash taught us some valuable lessons, we also drew some wrong conclusions.
Oh, okay.
For example, we became overly risk-averse, too focused on incremental progress, and obsessed with competition.
So instead of learning from the mistakes, we kind of overcorrected in the wrong direction.
Precisely. Thiel pushes back against those takeaways. He argues that boldness is essential for innovation.
Okay.
We can't be afraid to take risks.
Right.
He also emphasizes the importance of planning, even in the face of uncertainty. It's not about blindly leaping into the unknown. It's about having a clear vision and a strategy for achieving it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to competition, he makes a really interesting argument.
Okay.
He suggests that competition can actually be detrimental to profits and long-term value creation.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
But isn't competition the backbone of a healthy market? I mean, we're always told competition drives innovation and keeps prices low.
Yeah, that's the conventional wisdom. But Thiel challenges this assumption head on.
Okay.
He argues that while competition might seem good on the surface, it can often lead companies to focus on short-term gains and incremental improvements rather than truly innovative breakthroughs.
Right.
It's like everyone's so busy trying to outdo each other that they miss the opportunity to create something truly transformative.
So competition can actually stifle innovation.
Exactly. Instead, Thiel argues that companies should strive to build creative monopolies.
You did monopolies.
Now, I know the word monopoly often has, negative connotations. But he's not talking about companies that dominate through brute force or unfair practices. He's talking about companies that create so much value, offer such a superior product or service
Yeah.
that they become the dominant player in their market.
Okay, so think Google,
Right.
right? They completely revolutionized how we search for information and achieved a dominant market position. Not by crushing competitors, but by building a far superior product.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Google's dominance stems from their technological superiority, their ability to deliver a search experience that's simply better than anything else out there.
Right.
And Thiel argues that these kinds of creative monopolies are good for progress because they have the resources and the incentive to invest in long-term innovation.
Okay.
Something that's much harder for companies constantly battling for survival in a cutthroat competitive market.
That makes sense. When you're constantly fighting for market share, it's hard to think about the long game.
Right.
And invest in truly groundbreaking research and development.
Yeah.
You're too busy just trying to stay afloat.
Right. A company like Google, with its dominant market position and significant resources,
Yeah.
can afford to take on those big, ambitious projects that have the potential to change the world.
So instead of fearing monopolies, Thiel suggests we should strive to build companies that are so good, so innovative, they become the dominant player in their market.
Exactly. He wants us to challenge the ingrained belief that competition is always good. Think about it. We're taught to compete from a young age.
Right.
In school, in sports, in our careers. But Thiel argues that this constant focus on competition can actually hold us back.
Okay.
It can lead to conformity, risk aversion, and a reluctance to challenge the status quo.
I never thought about it that way. But it makes sense. If you're always worried about what your competitors are doing, you might be less likely to take risks and pursue truly original ideas. You end up playing it safe and following the herd.
Exactly. And that's the opposite of what Thiel is advocating for. He wants us to embrace boldness, to think differently, and to build companies that are truly unique and transformative.
All right, so we've got this idea of challenging conventional wisdom about competition and striving to build creative monopolies.
Right.
What other contrarian insights does Thiel offer?
Well, he argues that it's better to be the last mover in a market to achieve lasting dominance rather than being the first one out the gate.
Okay.
Think about Amazon. They weren't the first online bookstore.
Right.
But they've become the go-to for practically everything.
That's last mover advantage, right?
Yes. And it's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
To understand it, we need to talk about something called discounted cash flows, which is a way of valuing businesses based on their future earnings potential.
Okay, I'm all ears. Break it down for me.
All right. Imagine you have two companies.
Okay.
One is generating a lot of profit today, but has limited growth potential. The other is losing money today, but is expected to generate, massive profits in the future.
Okay, I'm following so far.
Discounted cash flow analysis helps us value these companies by taking into account the time value of money.
Okay.
Money today is worth more than money in the future.
Right. You can invest it.
Because you can invest it and earn a return.
Yeah.
So even if a company is losing money today, it can be extremely valuable if investors believe it has the potential to generate substantial profits in the future.
So it's about playing the long game.
Yes.
Building a company that will continue to thrive for decades to come, not just a few years.
Exactly. Thiel argues that many entrepreneurs get caught up in short-term thinking and miss the opportunity to build truly durable businesses.
Right.
They focus on maximizing profits today rather than building something that will last. He uses LinkedIn as an example.
Okay.
They had a high valuation even when their profits were relatively low because investors believed in their long-term potential.
And that belief has paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, LinkedIn has become the dominant professional networking platform.
Right.
They understood the importance of building a lasting foundation.
Right. Thiel encourages us to think about building companies that will still be around 100 years from now.
Wow.
To focus on creating value that endures, not just chasing quick wins.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's not just about building a successful business. It's about creating something that has a lasting impact.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key concept. we are not lottery tickets.
Hmm.
Thiel challenges the notion that success is just a matter of luck.
Okay.
He argues that we have the power to shape our own destiny.
Okay, I love that idea.
Yeah.
We're not just passive observers. We have agency.
Yes. And to understand how this agency plays out,
Mm-hmm.
Thiel outlines 4 views of the future: indefinite pessimism, definite pessimism,
Okay.
definite optimism, and indefinite optimism.
Okay, let's break those down. What does each of those views look like in the real world?
Okay. Indefinite pessimism is like a pervasive sense of doom and gloom.
Mm.
People who hold this view, they believe that the future is bleak and there's nothing we can do to change it. They
Right.
see things getting worse and feel powerless to stop it.
So it's a kind of learned helplessness,
Right.
a feeling that the future is out of our control.
Precisely. Definite pessimism, on the other hand, is a bit different.
Okay.
It's a belief that the future is challenging, but we can prepare for it.
Okay.
It's a more proactive approach. Think about prepping for a natural disaster.
Okay.
You know it's coming, so you take steps to mitigate the risks.
Okay, I can see the difference. It's about taking action even when the outlook is challenging.
Exactly. Then there's definite optimism.
Okay.
This is a belief that that the future is bright and we have the power to shape it. People with this view, they see opportunities, not obstacles. They're driven by a sense of purpose,
Right.
and believe that their actions can make a positive difference.
It's a can-do attitude.
Right.
Right. A belief that we can create the future we want to see.
Exactly. And finally, we have indefinite optimism.
Okay.
This is where things get tricky.
Okay.
Thiel argues that this is the dominant mindset in our society today. It's a belief that things will generally get better, but there's no clear plan or roadmap for how that will happen.
So it's a kind of passive optimism. I hope that things will work out without a concrete strategy for making it happen.
Exactly. Thiel is critical of this mindset.
Okay.
He argues that it leads to short-term thinking, a lack of planning, and a reliance on luck rather than deliberate action. He sees it as prevalent in fields like finance, politics, and even biology.
So it's a disconnect between hope and action.
Yes.
A belief that progress is inevitable without a clear understanding of how to achieve it.
Yes. And Thiel is a strong advocate for definite optimism.
Okay.
He believes we need to reclaim a sense of agency and embrace a more deliberate approach to building the future. Startups play a crucial role in shaping this definite future.
Okay.
They're the ones willing to take risks, challenge the status quo, and build the companies that will make tomorrow better than today.
Thiel sees startups as the engines of progress.
Yeah.
The drivers of innovation.
Precisely. He challenges us to think about the future we want to create and to work actively towards making it a reality. Not just hope for it,
Right.
but actually build it.
I love that. It's about taking ownership of the future, not just letting it happen to us.
Exactly. 0 to 1 is a call to action, a reminder that we have the power to shape our own destiny
Yeah.
and to build a future that is worthy of our aspirations.
This is already so insightful.
Yeah.
And we've just scratched the surface of 0 to 1.
There's so much more.
I can't wait to dive into more of Thiel's ideas after a quick break.
Yeah, me too.
We'll be back with more from our deep dive into 0 to 1. So stick with us.
Sounds good. Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing Thiel's idea that we are not lottery tickets.
Right, that we have agency in shaping the future. I love that.
Yeah, a really powerful idea. Now, let's explore how that agency plays out in the world of startups and investing. Thiel dedicates a whole chapter to this concept called the power law.
The power law. Okay.
Have you ever noticed how a small handful of companies seem to drive the majority of returns in a particular sector?
Yeah, it's like the 80-20 rule, but like on steroids.
Exactly.
A tiny percentage of companies creating the lion's share of the value. But how can we as individuals or entrepreneurs actually use this concept to our advantage? It seems like something that's just, observed, not really acted upon.
That's a great question. Thiel argues that understanding the power law is crucial for making smart investment decisions and building successful companies.
Okay.
He challenges the common misconception that venture capital is all about diversifying your portfolio and spreading your bets.
Right.
He says true success comes from identifying those outlier companies, the ones with the potential to become the next Google or Amazon.
Okay.
It's about concentrating your resources on the few bets that have the potential for exponential growth.
So instead of spreading your resources thin, you should go all in on those rare opportunities that could yield outsized returns.
Exactly. Imagine a graph where a few bars shoot way up high while most of the others barely register.
I gotcha.
That's the power law in action. In venture capital, this translates to a small number of investments driving the vast majority of returns.
Makes sense.
Think about it. One winning investment can make up for like dozens of losses. Thiel shares his own experience with Founders Fund, where often a single investment outperforms the entire rest of the fund combined.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But if this power law is so obvious, so visually striking, why do so many people, even experienced investors, seem to miss it?
Thiel suggests a few reasons. First, it's hard to see the power law at work in the early stages. When companies are just starting out, they often look very similar,
Right.
making it difficult to predict which ones will become the breakout stars.
Yeah.
Second, we tend to focus on relative rather than absolute success.
Okay.
We compare companies within a narrow band rather than recognizing the vast difference in potential between the truly exceptional companies and the rest of the pack. It's like focusing on who's slightly ahead in a race rather than noticing that one runner is about to lap the entire field. It takes a discerning eye to spot the true outliers.
So it's not just about picking winners, it's about identifying those rare companies with the potential for truly exponential growth. That sounds like finding a needle in a haystack.
It can be.
How can you even begin to identify those outliers?
Well, Thiel argues that one key to identifying these outliers is to look for secrets.
It's okay.
He believes that truly valuable companies are built on secrets, truths that are not yet widely known. These aren't necessarily, cloak and dagger secrets, but rather insights about the world that others haven't yet recognized. He challenges us to cultivate a mindset of seeking these hidden truths, to think differently and to challenge conventional wisdom.
But why aren't more people looking for secrets? It seems like most people are just trying to copy what already works or follow the latest trends.
Right. Well, Thiel believes our culture has become increasingly skeptical of secrets. He points to several factors, including our education system, which, often rewards conformity and discourages independent thinking,
Yeah.
and our generally risk-averse society,
Yeah.
where people are afraid of being wrong, of straying from the accepted narrative.
So we're conditioned to believe that everything worth knowing is already out there, that all the low-hanging fruit has been picked. Exactly. But but Thiel challenges this assumption, arguing that there are still plenty of secrets to be found, particularly in areas where conventional wisdom has failed. He urges us to embrace a sense of wonder and to look at the world with fresh eyes, always searching for those hidden truths that can lead to breakthroughs.
Can you give an example of a company that was built on a secret?
Think about Airbnb.
Cool.
They built a billion-dollar business by recognizing a hidden opportunity in a seemingly ordinary market. They saw that people were looking for more authentic, affordable travel experiences, and they connected them with homeowners willing to share their spaces. They weren't afraid to challenge the established hotel industry and pursue a secret that many others dismissed.
So finding a secret involves recognizing an unmet need or an inefficiency in the market or a truth that others have overlooked. Precisely. And once you've found a secret, the next step is figuring out what to do with it. Thiel suggests that the right approach depends on the nature of the secret. Some secrets are best kept close to the vest, while others need to be shared with a select few to bring them to life.
So it's a balancing act between protecting your valuable insights and sharing them with the people who can help you turn them into reality.
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial aspect of building a successful company. Foundation.
Foundations, okay.
Thiel emphasizes the importance of setting the right foundation from the very beginning. It's about making the right decisions early on about your team, your company culture, your legal structure, your ownership model.
So the initial choices you make can have a huge impact on the long-term trajectory of your company.
Absolutely. Thiel compares building a company to drafting a constitution. The choices you make at the outset will have a lasting impact on the future of your venture. A flawed foundation can lead to misalignment, dysfunction, and ultimate failure. For example, he highlights the importance of choosing the right co-founders.
Hmm.
He even compares it to marriage, emphasizing the need for compatibility, shared vision, and the ability to navigate disagreements effectively.
That makes sense. I mean, the founding team sets the tone for the entire company. A strong founding team can be a company's greatest asset, while a dysfunctional one can be its downfall.
Precisely. And it's not just about individual skills and experience. It's about finding people who share your values, challenge your thinking, and are deeply committed to the company's mission. Thiel also stresses the importance of building a strong company culture, and he argues that culture is not about superficial perks like ping pong tables and free lunches. It's about fostering a deep sense of shared purpose and creating an environment where people feel valued and inspired to do their best work.
So it's about creating a sense of belonging, a shared identity that goes beyond just the day-to-day tasks.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of a company with a strong culture?
Thiel uses PayPal's Mafia as a prime example.
Okay.
The original team at PayPal developed a strong culture of talent, ambition, and mutual loyalty.
Mhm.
This bond extended beyond their time at PayPal, leading many of them to go on and found or invest in other successful companies.
It's like the bonds forged in the trenches of a startup create a network that continues to pay dividends long after the initial venture.
Exactly.
It's not just about building a company, it's about building a community.
Exactly. And that sense of community, that shared mission, can be a powerful driver of long-term success. It's about creating an environment where people feel not just employed, but truly invested in the company's future. It's about more than just a paycheck. It's about building something meaningful together, and that can make all the difference.
This is so fascinating. We're learning so much from 0 to 1.
Yeah. Welcome back to our deep dive into 0 to 1. We've covered a lot of ground, from challenging the ideology of competition to the importance of building a strong foundation. Now let's turn our attention to a topic that Thiel considers absolutely crucial for any startup: distribution.
Okay, distribution. I'm intrigued. We often hear about the importance of, building a great product, but distribution doesn't always get the same attention. Why does Thiel place so much emphasis on it?
Well, Thiel completely shatters this myth that if you build it, they will come.
Right.
He argues that even the most innovative products won't succeed without a solid plan to get them into the hands of customers. He points out a common disconnect between engineers who love building things and salespeople who
Yeah.
focus on selling them.
Yeah.
And he stresses that distribution is often the hidden bottleneck for startups. It's not enough to have a great product. You need to get it in front of the right people.
So it's not just about what you build, but how you get it to your customers.
Exactly. And Thiel argues that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to distribution. He outlines different distribution strategies, each suited to different types of products and markets.
Right.
For big-ticket items, you might need a complex sales process involving multiple stakeholders and a long sales cycle.
Yep.
For smaller businesses, personal sales and relationship building might be more effective. Then there's marketing and advertising, which can be incredibly powerful for reaching a mass audience. And finally, there's viral marketing, where the product itself encourages sharing and spreads organically through networks.
So you need to choose the right distribution channel based on your specific product and target market. It's about finding the right fit. Any examples of companies that have nailed this?
Absolutely. Think about Tesla.
Tesla. Okay.
They didn't just build amazing electric cars. They also created a network of their own showrooms and service centers, bypassing the traditional dealership model.
Right. Right.
This allowed them to control the entire customer experience and build a strong brand identity.
That's a great example of how choosing the right distribution strategy can be a key differentiator. It's not just about getting your product out there. It's about creating a seamless and integrated experience for your customers.
Precisely. Thiel also talks about the power law of distribution, meaning that one distribution channel is likely to be far more effective than all the others combined. It's not about trying to do everything. It's about finding that one channel that really works and focusing your efforts there.
So it's about identifying that key channel and doubling down on it.
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the relationship between man and machine. This is especially relevant today with the rise of, artificial intelligence and automation.
Right.
Thiel challenges the common fear that computers are going to replace human jobs. He argues that computers are tools that can empower us, not substitutes that will render us obsolete.
That's a reassuring
Okay.
perspective, especially with all the talk about AI taking over. How does Thiel see this playing out?
Well, Thiel emphasizes that computers and humans excel at different things.
Okay.
Computers are great at processing vast amounts of data, performing repetitive tasks, and automating routine processes.
Hmm.
Humans, on the other hand, are better at creative problem solving, critical thinking, and complex decision making.
So it's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans with machines, a partnership, not a competition.
Exactly. Thiel believes that the most valuable businesses will be those that find ways to combine the strengths of humans and computers, creating a powerful synergy that unlocks new possibilities. He gives the example of Palantir, a company that uses software to help analysts sift through massive amounts of data to identify patterns and insights that would be impossible for humans to find on their own.
It's like giving human analysts superpowers, augmenting their abilities with the power of machine intelligence.
Precisely. Thiel encourages us to focus on those areas where humans and computers can work together most effectively,
Okay.
creating a future where technology empowers us rather than replaces us.
That brings us to another area where Thiel offers some insightful analysis, the clean tech bubble. Why did so many clean tech companies fail in the early 2000s, despite the growing need for sustainable energy solutions?
Well, Thiel revisits his 7 key questions for any business through the lens of clean tech,
Okay.
highlighting the common mistakes that led to their downfall. Many clean tech companies overestimated the size of the market, underestimated the challenges of distribution, and failed to build truly defensible businesses. They got caught up in the hype and neglected the fundamentals.
So even with a noble mission and a seemingly urgent need, these companies stumbled because they didn't address the core principles of building this successful business.
Exactly. Thiel contrasts the failures of many clean tech companies with the success of Tesla. He highlights Tesla's focus on building superior technology, choosing the right market entry point, high-end sports cars, and creating a strong brand identity.
So Tesla's success wasn't just about building electric cars. It was about building a desirable brand and a sustainable business model.
Exactly. They didn't just ride the wave of hype. They built a company with a solid foundation. Finally, Thiel delves into the founder's paradox, exploring the unique and often contradictory traits of successful entrepreneurs.
Okay.
He notes that founders are often both insiders and outsiders, dreamers and realists. They are individuals who see the world differently and are driven by a powerful vision.
It's like they have to be slightly outside the mainstream to see what others miss, yet also grounded enough to turn that vision into reality.
Precisely. Thiel uses examples like Sean Parker and Bill Gates to illustrate the challenges and complexities of being a founder. He highlights the dangers of believing too much in your own myth and the importance of recognizing the contributions of everyone in a company, not just the founder. It's a team effort, not a solo act.
So it's about balancing that strong individual vision with the ability to build and empower a team.
Exactly. Thiel concludes 0 to 1 with a powerful call to action, challenging us to reject the idea that the future is predetermined and to embrace the power of human ingenuity to shape a better world. He leaves us with this thought-provoking question: what valuable company is nobody building?
That's a question that stays with you, isn't it? It challenges us to think differently,
Yeah.
to see beyond the obvious, and to imagine the possibilities that lie ahead. It's a reminder that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
Absolutely. 0 to 1 is more than just a book about startups. It's a blueprint for building the future. A reminder that true progress comes from creating something new, from going from 0 to 1. It encourages us to embrace boldness, to think for ourselves, and to build the companies that will make the future better than the present.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining me today to break down all these amazing ideas from 0 to 1. Really appreciate your insights.
My pleasure. Always happy to discuss these ideas.
Yeah, to our listeners, we hope you found these insights as valuable as we have. Until next time, keep thinking big, keep challenging the status quo, and keep building the future.